Episode 2 for Third and 10 podcast is right now. What's going on, guys? Happy draft week to you. Well,
What happened?
I guess my phone went off, but it's all good.
Oh,
This see, this is the second episode. I swear something always happens, but regardless,
just funny.
it always is, man. Happy draft week to you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Nate, that's Brian here to my right. And yeah, this is a big week for all of us sports fans, especially of the NFL. The draft is on Thursday, and that means we'll likely have an episode there done on that day as well to kind of finalize things, our thoughts and plans for that day. And I guess Brian, for our listeners, what plans do you have for Thursday?
Oh, for Thursday, well, so big week for us for sports in general. We got Giants and Jets on draft day. We have Knicks playoff run, our Ranger playoff run. The Mets are on. So I'm just in a very stressful situation right now. So me and my roommates have agreed to buy a various amount of alcohol and
Okay.
drown our sorrows when our teams piss us off.
Fair enough.
How about this? On Thursday,
Okay.
we started drinking at 5 in the afternoon,
Okay.
and we didn't stop until 7:30 the next morning.
Jeez.
We saw sunrise. It was, and then I went to class.
You managed to go to class?
I don't remember much, but I
Boy,
went to class. I
that's
was there.
commitment. That's commitment, I tell you. I
Yeah, I've
probably
already
would have.
used all my skips for that class. So if I skipped another class, I would have lost points. So I'm like, well, it looks like this is
We're gonna.
why I just screwed myself, huh?
It's like we're gonna have to wing it.
Gonna
Um,
wing it, and boy, did we wing it.
but yeah, well, I mean, Thursday's gonna be a big night for you. Big night for the both of us. I don't know how to feel. I'm not sure how to feel. There's just so many things that could happen, especially after the first pick gets announced by Chicago. It's just a
Yeah,
matter of what's gonna happen
it's what
after.
Washington does that
It really
dictates
does.
everything.
hmm And regardless, we're talking about this, guys, because today on this episode we'll be discussing a few things. We'll take you for about the next half hour or so. We'll be discussing possible trade destinations the Giants could trade their sixth overall pick, as Joe Shane has received a lot of calls to trade down. So we'll be discussing that. We'll also talk about the Giants' last 10 first round picks and ranking them in a way, and then finally
Mm,
wrapping up the show with some quarterback, running back, and receiver rankings, because we really haven't released any of that
no.
on our podcast even before the name change, uh, which was backup to the backup. So without further ado, let's get started. Our first segment of the day is presented by SeatGeek. First down is, as you guys know, our first segment. Use the code BELLYUPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, all that stuff. SeatGeek has it all, and it's the best place to get your tickets for a good price. So, SeatGeek, shout out to you. Thank you so much for sponsoring our first segment, known as First Down. All right, Brian. So, the Giants, they could do the easy thing and just stay at 6.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking like, okay, we could stay at 6, get a receiver, call it a day, relax the rest of the night, move on to day 2. If you're Joe Shane and Brian Dable and the rest of the front office. Unfortunately, the Giants don't really have that luxury because a lot of teams have been calling Joe Shane to trade down or to trade up
hmm
to 6 and for the Giants to trade down. So the question is, what teams not only should or can jump up to 6, but would also benefit the Giants?
So I think the team that benefits the most is the Minnesota Vikings. I think Minnesota's going in with Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback next year. How does that invite any hope into that fan base? So they need to come out of this draft with some sort of plan for the future of their quarterback position. They have 2 first round picks. They could trade up to 6, give us the 2 first round picks. We can move back to it's 11 and 23, I think. The Vikings are there at 6. They can take their guy, most likely McCarthy, because that's been kind of the guy Minnesota's been really hyping up. And then for the Giants, well, at 11, you can address corner, or if a wide receiver falls, get a wide receiver. And then with that second first round pick, you can go out and address quarterback. You can go out and get Michael Penix Jr., who just wrote an article in the Players Tribune today. Basically, the biggest thing I got from that is his leadership ability, that maturity. Remember, the biggest problem I had with Caleb Williams was his maturity. Michael Penix just put on display at he's mature and goes, I understand the concern. I'm here to tell you it's okay. That's a guy I want leading my football team. And then you go into the second round, you can pick up a Keon Coleman, that's 6'4" wide receiver to hit the Penix to give. So from there, like, it just seems like a slam dunk for the Giants.
Yeah, I agree, and it's like I understand, when you have three top tier receivers and then Harrison Jr. and Neighbors and Odunze, it's like, okay, you're passing up on that with the risk of not even getting someone as good as those guys.
Mhm.
But at the same time, this team already has a lot of holes as it is.
Yeah.
And yes, getting receivers solves one of those holes, but why not? You just mentioned get two first round picks. Let the Vikings, chase who they want, which is whether it's McCarthy or it's a Drake May, right?
It's the quarterback that doesn't go in the top 3 is who they want.
Yeah.
So if it's if it's Caleb Williams, it's gonna be Caleb Williams, but that's not gonna happen. So
exactly. Spoiler.
I think we lost Nate. Oh,
I
he's
have to
back.
get a new mic.
Gotta get a new mic. You good?
I gotta get a new mic. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Hello? Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I swear I have to get a new mic.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's a spoiler alert. I have, for the Corner Booth show, which is, as we're recording this, will be live the same day at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 on the East Coast. We each had to do a mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
I did have the Giants training down to 11 and 23 for the 6th overall pick. But I went Penix at 11.
Penix at 11, okay. I don't hate it. Don't hate it.
I know you don't, but a lot of people do, I'm sure, because they feel like it's too early.
It definitely is a reach. I will give you it's a reach.
But could you tell me why it wouldn't be a reach?
It wouldn't be a reach because, like, you're kind of betting on that the injuries are behind him, and you're kind of just going off his film. His film is a quarterback that should go in the top 15. It's just he's had, 4 season-ending injuries that have killed his draft stock. Like, think about it, he's got 4 season-ending injuries, and he still could go in the first round. That should show you what talent is on that film he's showing us. So, when you put that together, like, 11 is not crazy. Like, 11 is crazy just because of how everything's gone. But in normal circumstances, 11 is probably like a steal.
So the reason I wanted him at 11 is because, yes, I could have gone, Quentin Mitchell, the cornerback, or stuff like that. Or, maybe a Bo Nix, for example, because Bo Nix, doesn't really have that injury history. They're similar quarterbacks, just that Penix has an injury history and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I know if I don't get Penix at 11, I'm not getting him at 23 because you have another spoiler alert. I do have the Patriots trading with the Raiders in this mock draft. Patriots fall to 13. I'm afraid if the Giants don't get Penix at 11, he might go to the Patriots at 13, and the Patriots get their quarterback of the future, right? If it's not the Patriots, then it's the Saints at 14, Derek Carr, right? If it's not the Saints, it's the Seattle Seahawks at 16, Geno Smith. Why not bring a guy who played out Washington, the same state as Seattle, bring him in, let him develop behind Geno. If Geno stumbles in 2024, Penix comes in, there you go. After that, I guess a dark horse could be the Rams at 19. Matthew Stafford's getting old. So I'm taking the risk only because I'm scared the team's behind the Giants.
No, I get that.
Yeah. So I really do want Michael Penix, but the trade to get 2 first-round picks, it lessens the criticism from people saying, "Oh, it's a reach to get Penix at 11," or, "Oh, you could still get him at 23."
Mhm.
At least I'm getting him now, so that
Yeah.
way I can still address another position at 23,
Yeah.
which for this mock draft, I ended up getting Nate Wiggins, the cornerback from Clemson.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You basically just flipped what I did. I had taking the corner at 11 and taking the quarterback at 23,
I
and then the
feel
wide
you.
receiver in the second round. Or even you could even take Brian Thompson Jr., who I think is underrated,
Yeah.
at 23, and then go corner in the second round. Like there's endless possibilities you can do here and still get really good, talented players in here.
Mhm. I mean, I just like getting those two first round picks. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can get a quarterback, at just whenever. You can get a cornerback whenever. You can get a receiver. It really it opens up so many opportunities
Yeah.
for New York. So that is
It's with Joe
one
Shane when
choice.
he first came in. He wants to as many swings in the draft as possible.
Mhm.
Trading back in 2 first-round picks would be getting 2 more swings to get good, potentially franchise-altering pieces. Because at the end of the day, like, we can say all we want, like, "Okay, this player's better than this player," but the NFL draft is just a lottery at the end of the day. We have no idea if these players are gonna translate to the next level. We don't know what kind of coaching is gonna happen or not. So, sure, a player might get taken at 23, but that doesn't mean he's not a franchise quarterback. It means there's some intangible that's just not there yet.
See, Cold Irons 0727. I appreciate you stopping by saying I don't think Penix is going to be good at the next level. Just your opinion. And we're all entitled to our opinions. I would love to hear why that is the case. Uh, I guess, Brian, why do you think he'll be good at the next? Is it just because of his maturity and leadership, is it because of his strong arm, or is there more to why you like Penix at
Strong
the
arm
next
in the
level?
leadership, I think. I think he has that good arm that can, put down the field, and he just will be a leader of men. He'll be a guy the guys want to follow. He could be, that leader in the locker room.
I would say the same thing. It's just his age. It may be a downside to some, but being 24 years old, you have so much experience. He has a heck of an arm. Played in an air raid offense at Washington. He's not afraid to sling it. And
Mhm.
regardless of who's playing wide receiver for the Giants in 2024, whether it's Darius Slayton, Wandale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, whoever they get in the second round this year, if they do chase a receiver, you want a quarterback that's not afraid to throw the deep ball, not afraid to just sling it and just be like, just take the risk of just throwing that into tight spaces or
Mhm.
wherever the case may be. And
Yeah.
Penix is that guy. I feel like he is better equipped at doing that compared to a Drake May or JJ McCarthy or a Bo Nix as well. So I really do like Penix, and you read the letter that he released to the Players Tribune. I love the guy. I really do.
Yeah,
Plus,
like that's
Yeah.
he could honestly that letter could shoot him off draft boards. Like that 11 might not be crazy right now because of I think a team can fall in love with him.
I mean, Joe Shane and then Brian Diablo did go to his pro day instead of the UNC pro day when because
Mhm.
they were both on the same day. So, and people are saying, well, maybe they were there to see Romo Dunze. Yeah, okay,
Okay. Okay, but
cool.
they're there to see Romo Dunze. Guess what? They have to look at Penix too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
like, and they can still fall just because you go to a pro day to watch somebody doesn't mean you're not gonna fall in love with somebody else. Like I remember,
exactly.
I hate to use this example, but Dave Gettleman said when he would watch film for the Saquon Barkley draft, he would
Hmm.
always try his best not to watch Saquon, but would just become encapsulated by him. So like it happens. Sometimes you go in like, all right, I'm gonna look at this linebacker, and then you see a receiver make a cut or something like, wait a minute, what's that? And then you go find him. You're not doing a good job if you're going to a pro day going, we're close minded, we're just going to look at this one player. No, you should go to a pro day to look at all the players. That's why they have these. So you get a
Hmm.
first hand account of what these guys can do athletically.
And it helps that Washington has like not just one, but like two or three good receivers. Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk are two others receivers that stand out for Washington as well. So, you know, the Giants, if they don't get Odunze and they get Penix, maybe they can get him a teammate.
Yeah.
In McMillan or Polk in the later round. So
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I love
Yeah.
Penix. I really do. The odds of him going to the Giants are kind of low-ish to be from what I've seen from various mock drafts, but there's been a few that say he's a good fit. So
Yeah. Also, I
yeah,
think I figured out. I've been thinking about this the other day when we did the mock draft and we did a
yeah.
running back in the third round, got a C for it. It's because the Giants don't have a need for running back, according to Pro Football Reference. That's why it tanks the grade. But
Well, they
like
do.
they do, but it's like it's just not a pressing need. But it is like a need. It's a need.
True.
They could use a back behind Devin Singletary.
I just feel like if you address running back in the third round or whenever, you don't have to do committee. You can just say Singletary, you're the second guy. Whoever we draft will be the first guy, and just go for it, man. I mean, yeah, committee is great and all, but there's nothing better. Oh, not better, but there's nothing more assuring than just having one guy be the main back,
Yeah.
whether it's Trey
Yeah. Exactly.
Benson or I'm just saying, man, if Audric Estime falls to the Giants,
Oh, they're great. Be amazing.
he reminds me of Brandon Jacobs. I don't know why.
No,
He
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 does.
just
Yeah.
does.
Mm-hmm.
As we shift towards our second segment of the day, presented by Yeats Sunglasses. Use the code BELLYUPPOD for 10% off your order. Stylish, affordable. It's almost summertime. These sunglasses was you're gonna need when you're at the beach or wherever the case may be. So Yeats Sunglasses, shout out to them for sponsoring our second segment known as Second Down. And for this segment, we'll be talking about our thoughts on the Giants' past 10 first-round picks. Bobby Skinner, the co-host of Talking Giants, released a tweet yesterday talking about the Giants' past 10 first-round picks. And for this one, we're going to talk about, I guess in a way, rank them, but
Yeah.
also, just say if were they good, okay, or just complete bad picks.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. And the
Of
first
course.
guy is going to be Evan Ingram, tight end. I would say he was okay.
I give him a C.
Let's see. Okay.
A C because like he showed flashes, but like he also had a few like bad moments I think stick out in our heads more, like the drop in Philadelphia in 2020 that would have won us the NFC East. And who knows how different things are if Evan Ingram catches that ball. Like is Joe Judge still the head coach because he did make the playoffs? Like it's possible, but no, C is perfect for him.
Oops, I was on mute. I'm gonna put in. Yeah, I'll put Ingram at a B minus,
Yeah.
and we'll do that. We'll just do letter grades from here on out. So I'll put B minus for Ingram from me, and then C for you. Shout out to him. He's in Jacksonville now. He's doing much better. So good for him. We shift our focus to 2018. Saquon Barkley, the now Philadelphia Eagle. I will put this one. Nah, he's gone. I will also rank this as a B.
I was gonna say B too. B because like he showed flashes. He had a really good rookie year, great season last year, decent season this year. But he had the injury problems. Never really lived up to that hype that he was, and then the Giants also just struggled with him too. So really, when he was on the field, he was great. He was just had a hard time staying on the field.
Yeah, he was the Giants' offense for quite a while.
Yeah, he was, and like he was the face of the franchise for a while, so that's why like he deserves a B. But it's just like let's not like be blind here, people. Like he wasn't perfect.
Plus the injuries, plus his tendency to not hit the hole instead trying to just go on the outside and try to make the big play instead of just taking what you got. That
Yeah,
those were concerns
he
throughout
was a
his
home run
career.
hitter. Like he just wanted to hit home runs. Like no, it's okay just to take a 3-yard gain sometimes. You don't. It doesn't have to always be 15 yards downfield. Run game is
Exactly.
just slowly moving the ball closer.
Exactly. So shout out to him. I know he's in Philly right now, but he did a good amount for us. Just that we didn't really win with him. So that's why our grade on him isn't as high as we want it to be. Um, oh boy, 2019 we had 3 first-round picks, and the first one was very scrutinized by the draft media, and that was quarterback Daniel Jones. I will. I guess you go
I'm think
first.
I'm thinking like C minus, D
That's
plus
fair though. That is
ish.
fair.
Because, like, yes, he's not a franchise quarterback. He should not be on the roster next year. He's not the guy in New York long term. But you also have to factor in, like, his rookie season under Pat Shermer was like he showed flashes that year. Last year when he had Dable and there was no film on it, he played well. He won that playoff game for us against the Vikings.
Hmm.
And he was also paired up with Jason Garrett for 2 years. Like the quarterback probably just got shell shocked and just like couldn't, he messed with the development. I've always said if he had one more year of Pat Shermer, he could have maybe. I'm not saying it could be anything good. His ceiling was probably like a Kirk Cousins type quarterback, that game manager. But there's nothing wrong with having that guy.
Yeah, I would put him at a C minus too. I mean, he did lead us to the playoffs. He did,
Like
win a
there were
playoff
times like okay,
game.
Jones is kind of putting it together, and then like he would struggle. It goes, oh, okay, never mind.
Do you feel like the game against Philadelphia in the playoffs kind of just ruined it? Kind of just led things to going downhill for him?
Yeah, I think every game against Philadelphia because if you watch him against Philly that year, I think Philly's the only team that figured him out.
And then after that, it was Dallas took
And after
over.
that, everyone just watched the Philly highlights and goes, oh, wait a minute, this is how we beat them. And then they figured it out.
Yeah, Dallas figured it out after the Arizona game. Well, Arizona figured it out for like a half. The Niners figured it out. Seattle figured him out.
Yeah.
Everyone figured him out. So yeah, I put him at C minus. I mean, I appreciate him for the playoff win, and leading us there with
Yeah.
his scrambling ability and his arm at times. But just
He
his
was fun
confidence was,
when he was running and like actually good. It was very fun to root for Daniel Jones
especially
because it's just
against
like I know
Indianapolis.
everyone hates him. It's funny
They do, man, and
for no reason.
he's
For absolutely no reason they hate Daniel Jones.
he's like the one. He's like the first guy I've seen that people just criticize him for just being him.
You could like literally run into a burning building and like save somebody, and they're like, "Well, why didn't you do that faster?" It's like, bro.
Like I did it. Like what else do you want me to do? Uh, but yeah, shout out to him. I know he's not gonna be the long term guy, but yeah, he did win us a playoff game, so we'll take it. We shift to our second first round pick of 2019. That was Dexter Lawrence. I would
Easy A plus,
A plus for me too.
best defensive tackle in the league. A plus.
He really is. I mean, if not, he is making an argument for it. I mean, Aaron Donald's gone now, so it's literally between Dexter Lawrence and like Chris Jones.
Yeah,
And I would take
he's good.
Dexter
He's
Lawrence.
a lock for top 3, arguably 1.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Yep.
DeAndre Baker, cornerback. F. Yeah, he's in the UFL now.
He was weird. Like I don't like really remember how he did that year, but he had like the weird off the field thing where like he robbed those people, but then like he didn't rob them. Like it was a weird story surrounding him.
And
So
it's
I
like
wonder what would have happened if the off the field stuff hadn't interfered in what he did.
did you do it or did you not do it? It's like, which
Yeah,
one?
because it seemed
So
like every week the story changed.
I mean, now he's doing
Like a
fine.
detail someone hadn't said yet. It's like, but wait a minute, what actually happened?
He's doing fine now, though. I mean, I know he didn't do the best for us. I think his last team he played for was the Chiefs in the NFL, but
Chiefs for a few years.
Jeez. Huh. Well, he made a play in the UFL like a couple games ago or so. He made like a forced fumble or something. So
Mm-hmm.
he's playing football again. And it's just not at the NFL level, which is totally
But
fine.
if he does well at the UFL, what team might not sign and give him a shot?
And not us. Okay.
I mean, not us, but like we've seen P. Walker was an XFL quarterback, signed, became the Panthers starter. I know that's not saying much to the Panthers starter, but it's still an accomplishment.
Fair enough to me. And then we go to 2020 now, the COVID year, and this one we got Andrew Thomas, and I feel like this is an A plus as well.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
say we want about Dave Gettleman. He hit a home run with Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas. I guess it's one of those things where a broken clock is right twice a day.
That's facts. Thomas, arguably one of the best left tackles, if not the best left tackle in the NFL. Definitely top 5 for sure, behind guys like Trent Williams and players like that. But he's the guy, and he's going to be a long-term guy at left tackle for years to come.
He
So
will
shout out
hopefully
to.
never wear another uniform. It's not the Giants.
Does he have an extension with this? Not yet, huh?
Yes, yes.
It is okay.
We extended him over the summer.
Got it. There you go. 2021, Kadarius Toney.
Okay, this is hard because I give him a B+ for the trade and F for the pick. I love that he traded back and got 2 first-round picks for the next year. But Kadarius Toney is a horrific player. F.
I would say D because he showed flashes.
But yes, he showed flashes, and you're talking about the Dallas game.
Yeah.
Don't forget, like he got ejected for throwing a punch in that game. The third quarter. And then he played the first drive against the Rams the following week, played decently, and then got hurt, and then never stepped foot on the field again that season.
I give him the grade because of the flashes and also because of the trade that landed us Darren Waller.
Yeah.
But now that trade looks like crap.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, did we really benefit? We didn't really benefit from it.
No.
I mean, the Raiders got Trey Tucker with the draft pick that we gave them.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
From the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Trade. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we traded Toney for a third, traded that third for Waller. That pick that we gave to the Raiders became Trey Tucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say a D. And it's like he's not gonna do anything anymore for the Chiefs anyways, because the Chiefs are gonna just stink.
Yeah.
Well, with him there,
he's gonna stay on the. I mean, like they can't cut him now because they just lost Rashid Rice.
He's gonna face multiple games suspension.
Exactly. So we can't cut him in training camp because we kind of need him.
2022, the Giants had 2 first-round picks. The first one was Kayvon Thibodeau. I would give this one a B+ because it's still to be determined. How about you, Brian?
I was gonna say B, but yeah, B+. I agree with he's one of those guys who's shown flashes. The Commanders game in 2020, his rookie year, that Commanders game, we had the sack. He looked decent last year. He had that game against the Jets where I feel like 3 sacks against the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
3 sacks, and like every time there was someone rushing the quarterback, it was him. And then I think being paired with Brian Burns now is just going to excel his game even more. Him and Brian Burns already seem like best friends. On a fishing trip right now together, having a great time. Got a sack dancer ready to go. So these guys are gonna push each other, and I think it's gonna be there. It is, yeah. Iron sharpens iron. It's gonna be great.
I love these two, man.
What they're fishing for, though.
I wonder.
I know Jameis Winston was fishing for tuna the other day, and he was interviewing them. That's a funny video. You haven't seen it online. Jameis Winston is interviewing tuna and basically asking them why can't they swim on land. It's one of the funniest videos I've seen.
He interviewed a fish.
The fish is literally flopping on the deck, and he's asking it questions.
Water. A wise friend told me that they're just simply trying to swim away. Well, fish, how does it work swimming in the air? They didn't really have a response. Sometimes no response is the best response at all.
I love Jameis Winston. He's so funny. I wish Jameis Winston worked out in the NFL. He was so great at Florida State. When he got I've probably told this story before on this show, but when he got suspended at Florida State, I forgot why he got suspended. I think it might have had to do with him stealing the crab legs. He got suspended, and the game he was suspended, he was out on the field warming up in pads and stuff. And I think Jimbo Fisher was a coach at the time. He goes, "You're not playing. Go back in the locker room." Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, what are you doing?
I feel like he was trying to
Not
be
gonna
like.
notice you were out there. Like,
He's trying to be
like you're
sneaky
like a
with
third
it.
string linebacker. You're Jameis Winston, the starting quarterback.
He really tried. He was like, I'm gonna try to play. Screw what coach says. I'm gonna
You
try to
literally
see
was
make it
trying to
work.
play. Oh, bad. What do you mean you're bad?
I think he's with Cleveland now, right? As a backup, I believe. He's somewhere.
I
No,
believe so. Yep.
he's a Brown.
The
So
only 30-30 season. NFL history.
not the 30-30 that we're looking for either. It's 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. The other first round pick in 2022, which is Evan Neal. I'm going to give that one a C at the moment because I want to see if the Giants put him at the guard, and we will evaluate him from there. But what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I agree with C.
C.
You know, if the long term plan is him as tackle, it's a D. But if he's gonna move around and stuff, it's a C. C until proven otherwise.
I really do think you put him at left guard next to Andrew Thomas. I feel like they were gonna that's gonna work out.
Yeah, I do too.
And they put John Runyon at right guard and
Yeah,
right
because he reminds me so much of Eric Flowers, and Eric Flowers moved to guard in Washington and played great. So why can't it work? There's so many stories of great college tackles moving to the inside and having good NFL careers.
Mm-hmm. And as we shift towards our final first round pick, and that was Deontay Banks last year. I really do like Deontay. I know it's too early to tell, but I'm putting him at a B right now because he did show flashes of being that cornerback number one. Plenty of work to go, but I think a solid B is the right way to go. How about you?
I mean, I would love to give him an A, but it's one season. I give him an A on the season, but I can't get the pick an A right now because there's just so much we don't know about him. So I think B is fair.
Alrighty. So that will do it for second. Now I want to shift back to first down because we'll call it a booth review because I feel like something was wrong on first down, and we'll go back. I want to go back to our first segment, and that was I forgot to mention to you because I know we talked about the Minnesota trade situation, but I did not mention to you about the possibility of Denver.
Yeah, so I was waiting for you to bring them up.
Yeah, my apologies. Go ahead.
No, you're good because I looked it up. I'm like, oh, I guess Denver has a higher pick than I thought, but they're definitely a team that could sit and pick up Michael Penix because they're at 12 right now. I saw a mock trade the other day, and it might be one of the most insane mock trades I've ever seen. It was the 12th overall pick, a 2025 first round pick, and Patrick Surtain, 6th overall pick. And we have breaking news. We got a rumor right now. We have a bidding war for 3. It's the Giants and Vikings are most active in pursuing the Patriots pick, according to Adam Schefter. Giants and Vikings are trying to move up to 3 right now, according to Schefter.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
The 3?
And if you've seen what the Patriots have asked for 3, it's a lot.
What are they asking for?
I saw at one point they wanted like 3 first-round picks or equivalent to 3 first-round picks. I'm not sure how true that rumor was. I saw it, but like that's way too much. If we have three spots, I'll say it's 6.
Let's see.
They're underwhelmed. The Patriots have been told they've been very underwhelmed by the offer. So I think they're gonna sit there. Unless Minnesota calls or the Giants call last second and give them just an offer they can't refuse.
I see Minnesota. Minnesota is very realistic. You don't trade for another first round pick for nothing. You can give them next year's first rounder.
Because you're already missing 1 first round pick.
And the talent in Minnesota is it's good enough to the point where the pick that they're going to trade to the Patriots anyways for next year isn't going to be that high.
No, let's say because like it's probably going to be May or Daniels there. Even though I don't like May, you do put in Minnesota's offense with Justin Jefferson and and those TJ Hawkinson, those weapons, he's going to put together a decent season. Chris O'Hara is the quarterback coach there, I believe. He was the quarterback coach with Stafford when he had his great year when the Rams won the Super Bowl. So maybe he can work out with May because they're probably similar as quarterbacks play style wise.
I would say if McCarthy goes to the Commanders, which I really do think he is going to go number 2. I have a gut feeling. I'll explain at the end of the show.
No. I'm interested to hear it because I unfortunately think McCarthy could go top 3. I just don't think he deserves to.
Exactly. That's part of the point I wanted to get across. But I think for me, the Giants, you trade up to 3 if and only if Daniels is there.
Exactly.
And you just give up. I don't care what it is. You give up this year's first rounder.
Daniels.
Exactly. You give up this year's first rounder, next year's first rounder. I don't know, maybe a draft day type of trade like we saw in the movie.
I gotta watch that movie again.
I watched it like a couple of days ago. I might watch it again before Thursday. I don't know. It just
like, I know it's not a great movie, but I love it.
It's unrealistic.
It's extremely unrealistic, but that stuff happens. Like I heard an NFL executive say that outside of like the big trade where you had all the teams calling each other and stuff, that was very realistic. Like when the Bills called and offered like the 2 picks and the 2 players,
that was realistic.
When the Texans called Sonny Weaver Jr. and asked about Vontae Mack, that's happened before. Like, so because there's realistic elements, it's just the main part of the story is completely unrealistic at all.
Who trades 3 first rounders and then gets it back?
No. That was my big gripe with the movie. Like, you shouldn't have gotten all 3 first round picks back. You should have like figured out a way to get get 1 back, but not get all 3.
And then the trade with the rookie GM from Jacksonville.
3 second round picks? Like, what is this? No, that's way too much.
And then when
the Jaguars, I mean, I know the Jaguars are morons, but they're not going to trade, what was that, the 5th overall pick?
Yeah, it was a 6th pick.
Overall pick for 3 seconds? No. You need at least 1 first.
And then when they before the deal was made for the 3 first rounders back, Sonny Weaver was like, "What else do we need?" And it was like special teams. It was no. Putney. Yeah, whatever his name.
Putney.
I was like, what? Why would you?
I'm like, they gave up more for the 6th overall pick than for the 1st overall pick? No.
Oh, what a mess. I don't know. But at the end
you
of the day,
you got to suspend your reality for a second. It's a movie.
The movie was good.
The movie's there to entertain you. It's not there to be a realistic. If you want a realistic version of the NFL draft, watch the NFL draft
on Thursday. Exactly. As we shift towards our final segment of the day, that's going to be Third Down, presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. These are the type of snacks that you need in your pantry, folks. Use the code BELLYUP for 15% off your order. One of the best beef jerkies out there. Great snack to have. So shout out to them for sponsoring our Third Down segment. This is where we're going to rank our quarterback, running backs, and wide receivers quickly before we head off. We'll start with the quarterback. Brian, who are your top 5 quarterbacks in this year's draft?
My top 5 quarterbacks. So even though I don't like him, I don't think he's a giant. I do have Caleb Williams going number 1. He definitely has the most potential of anybody in this draft to be good. Number 2, I had Jaden Daniels. I love him. I think he's going to be so good in this league. At number 3, this might come as a little bit of a shock. Michael Penix Jr.
Hey, there you go. I like it.
Michael Penix. I like Penix a lot with the arm and that leadership. I probably would have had him 4 before I read that Player Tribune article, but now I definitely have him at 3. And then 4 and 5, it's Drake May and JJ McCarthy. Like they're I don't love either one of them, but like they're better than the rest.
Fair enough. I have the same thing as you. I just love Penix. He has a heck of an arm. He can sling it with the best of them, honestly. And if it wasn't for Caleb or Daniels, Penix could be arguably the best quarterback in this draft, especially if he never had that injury history. But hey, and things happen for a reason, right? And maybe this is what Penix had to go through.
Maybe he's supposed to be injured because Brian Daboll is the only coach that would know how to use him.
There you go. I like that reasoning.
Mhm.
I just switched McCarthy and May. McCarthy at 4, May at 5. I feel like May is more of a project. McCarthy ran a pro-style offense at Michigan.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's simple as that. Running
Yeah.
backs, not as loaded of a class in terms of first-round
No, and
talent, but
it's a lot. The two top guys have ACL problems. Like Jonathan Brooks
exactly.
is the consensus number one, but he's like, they're not sure if you can be ready for camp. Like
Mhm.
they're aiming for July 1st, but it's like that's not a guarantee. And then and ACL injuries are always kind of scary to deal with. So I kind of want to put Terry Benson ahead of him because like he's already kind of recovered from the ACL injury and like he's been described as an Adrian Peterson type running back. Like
Mhm.
anytime you have AD, comparison, I'm taking it. I probably have Benson 1, Brooks 2, Wright 3, Allen 4, Irving 5.
Ooh, I like that. I have Jonathan Brooks at 1, Wright at 2, Benson at 3, Estime at 4. I don't know. I'm very high on Estime. I really am. I think
No, yeah,
he's
you would. I mean, I would love Estimate, but I just don't.
not
Put him in the
as
top 5.
okay. And then I have Blake Corum at 5. So differing standpoint on that, but
That's good.
that just
It's
shows my
debate.
lack of running backs.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, I feel like this is a bit easy. But go ahead. What's your receiver
Yeah,
list?
so wide receivers, it's very simple. It's the big three. It's Marvin
Yeah.
Harrison, Malik Neighbors, Undunze. At 4, I have Brian Thompson Jr. And for me personally, at 5, since you threw SMA in there, I'll throw Keon Coleman at 5.
Really?
I like Keon.
Oh.
I just think he would fit the Giants so well. Like just big. He just gets you those Amari Toomer vibes, just like that big guy that Eli can just throw the ball. Oh,
I would like him. I really would. I think, especially, it's very manageable to get him at the position the Giants are in the second round.
mm-hmm.
Especially if they somehow trade down and maybe get even more picks. Who knows?
Yeah.
Same as you. 5, I put Adonai Mitchell, the receiver from Texas, 6'4", big
Yeah, so
body guy.
he's 6 for me. Yeah.
Yeah, big body guy. I like him. He's probably gonna go with the Chiefs if he falls. That's the lowest he's gonna fall is to Kansas
Yeah.
City. So
Mm-hmm.
I know quickly we have to go, but I will explain my McCarthy reasoning real quick. So I guess we're going on 4th down again.
Go.
The odds for JJ McCarthy have fallen from 20-1 to now 11-1, apparently, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. And you may be thinking, oh, okay, well, that's stupid. That's just odds. Who cares? As we know, Jaden Daniels was supposed to meet with Washington. Supposedly, it was supposed to be by himself, but the Commanders were stupid, and they hosted 4 of them. It was McCarthy, Daniels, Penix, and May. So Daniels' camp is unhappy.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I'm thinking, okay, Daniels is out of the picture. What about Drake May? Drake May is a project. He's not what we think he is.
No.
So the
And they just
Commanders,
traded the guy that started ahead of him too. Sam Howell started ahead of Drake May at UNC, and they just traded him. Really think they're going for another UNC quarterback?
yeah, like, no, you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. McCarthy, he's compared to May, he's pro ready. His pro day was great. Harbaugh talked great about him. Antonio Pierce, the Raiders coach, endorsed him, saying if you want a national championship, it should be higher. His mechanics, McCarthy's mechanics are better than May. Better leader, work ethic. The Commanders are going through this culture change, and I just feel like McCarthy just fits that mold of what they want to do.
Yeah, and he does
Yes.
bring that winning pedigree with him because he's just won everywhere. So, like,
Mhm.
from that aspect, he does know how to win. I can't
Yeah.
knock him for that.
He's efficient. Of course, he didn't have to throw a ton like most quarterbacks in this draft had to, because of the core around him. And it's just, I don't know. If the odds are falling this low, that just shows the NFL, the league is more high than we are as fans on him. So with the Daniel situation, I don't really like Drake May going there. I feel like McCarthy just adding it all together. It sounds bad, like bad reasoning. I know it does. I just think he's gonna go to Washington.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, that'll do it for episode 2. we will hopefully be back on Thursday before the day of the draft, and we'll find out, man. If we record something that day, we'll be all antsy and everything, but we'll see what happens, dude. I'm very
we will.
excited. I'm very
Very
excited.
excited.
So thank you to you as always, my guy. I appreciate you.
thank you.
And thank you guys for watching and listening to the 3rd and 10 podcast. We'll be back with you hopefully on Thursday, and we will get you a draft episode at regardless this week. So good luck to your teams. Good luck to our Giants. And yeah,